It would be Joseph because I like the way that he led, his integrity, his wisdom, his willingness to forgive. I love that. And it would also be Daniel. I like that Daniel was like, a faithful man to God. Oh, David, I like his heart, a man after God's own heart. Abram, I like that he was God's friend. He walked in obedience. So Boaz, handsome and stuff like that. So, it'll be all those type of dudes. Anybody but Solomon. We already got the wisdom, so we don't need Solomon. And the wealth, we already got that. So yeah, those guys are married.
I would be Mary because she was the mother of Jesus.
I will probably be Esther. And because of her sacrifice, it's a tie between Esther and Ruth actually, and for the same reason. Because of their sacrifice and womanhood and being able to put others before themselves, but also they were queens in their own right. So, yes.
And why?
Maybe Sarah. She was beautiful.
David, because he was a man after God with heart.
So I would say Esther because that's one of my favorite books in the Bible, and I really do lead my life like I was born for such a time as this. So I really am inspired by her story.
It would be Abraham because he was like a man of God, and he always believed in kindness and generosity, and he always believed in listening to God and being obedient to God.
I would say Hannah, just because of just that having that one-on-one time with God, believing God for the impossible, and even though things just may seem just completely out of reach, just her faith and her believing God and just that intimacy that she had with God, which I feel like I also have that same qualifications that Hannah has, just that intimacy and that prayer and believing God for the impossible.
Deborah, because I like her leadership, and not only is she a superior leader, she's a prophetess, and that means she's led by God.
I could be any man in the Bible. So many great men in the Bible. If I could be any man in the Bible, it would probably be Solomon. And I would pick Solomon because of his influence, his devotion to God, and his influence and leadership to the people that he was around. And also he called David into becoming what God had called him to be. So his devotion to God, his relationship that he had with God, he was so serious, so focused, so dedicated to what God had called him to do.
It would be Boaz because he was kind and he didn't seek her for her like outer appearance, but how she worked and things like that. So I would choose Boaz.
David. One, because he's a musician. I love a man that knows how to offer his gift to God. I'm sure that he was loyal and faithful. So if he's faithful to God, I know he'll be faithful to me.
I would say David because he was a warrior. He's a strong man.
Abraham, and the reason why, because he was a man of great faith and obedience.
For sure. The reason why, again, loyal, hardworking. My man of God tell him I gotta rest. So yeah, hardworking and my quiet strengths that I have, that I hold within.
Women in the Bible, it's so many good women. It would either have to be Deborah or Esther. I would say Esther, because I just love her bravery, her willingness to just go for it, the fasting, saving her people, and the way it just went, like, I don't know, I would want to be like Esther.
He was a warrior, a leader, and a man, a musician, and a poet.
I think it'd be Solomon because he was strong.
I would marry Boaz because of his love and compassion and his kindness, and also he led his family to legacy, and family is so important to me.
It'll be Ruth, and I say Ruth because of her humbleness, her devoutness to hear from God, be obedient to what the woman of God had told her to do, to get what God had for her.
I would be the lady with the issue with blush. I don't think she has a name, but because her faith is what healed her, and she saw opportunity and she went for it.
Goodness. Boaz.
Reason why is because he seemed like he was like real compassionate to Ruth, and he has money too. So
I would say Sarah, because of her beauty. And sometimes us women, we feel like our beauty is not enough. So with the confidence that she has, I have it too. So yes, Sarah.
Marry Mary. You know why? Because I didn't have to work in my whole life anymore.
First one, the woman I would marry, not the first one, but the woman I would marry would be Eve. Reason being is because she was the first woman created, and I make sure she stays in a straight line.
I would be Joseph because I feel like he had great integrity.
Probably Ruth. Because through all of her adversity, she still looked to God, sought God's face, and she actually came out on top.
I'll marry Deborah because she was a prophetess.
I'll be Eve because she was the first woman ever created.
It will be Mary because she created Jesus, and look at where we are.
Probably Eve because she was first.
If I could have married any man in the Bible, I would have married
Me.
Boaz. Why? Because Boaz was a man of just generosity, a man of faith, and he understood the importance of family legacy, and he wanted to help, maintain that legacy. So similar to, I already have my Boaz, so that's who I would have married.
Say Sarah, because, I had children at late age and had no idea that God was going to bless me in that way.
I would have married Elizabeth because she never lost her trust in God after he promised her a child.
I'm going to say Mary, and the reason why is because I know Jesus was a well-behaved kid, and I love good kids, well-behaved.
Because she was a woman of beauty.
Boaz, for sure. Why? For his wisdom, his love, his protection, the warrior in him, and the sexiness.
I would say I'll be Abraham. I'll be Abraham because I believe that he has all that it takes, all that he has done through the Bible that I have read. I feel like he defies who I am to an extent.
Probably David, just because he's a worshiper.
If I could be any man in the Bible, it would be Abraham because I feel like I'm just a great man of faith, just like him.
I'll be Abraham because he was a man of faith.
My namesake, David, because just like me and him, we both were flawed, but we still did great things.
It'll be Joseph. Even though he's been betrayed, he has a forgiving spirit.
I choose David. David because he was an imperfect man, still after God's own heart. He made a mess of a lot of things, but he got back in line, got right.
I would marry King Solomon, and because one, he was rich, but most importantly, he had wisdom. That's my answer.
Well, if I chose Abraham for the man, I guess I would have to choose Sarah for the woman. Because she would be with that rich man.
Boaz is my man. Absolutely, undeniably. He got some money. He's very loving, very generous, kind. I bet he was fine, so Boaz.
It would be Boaz because of his generosity, his kindness, and his devotion to his woman, his wife, I mean.
Elizabeth. I don't plan on having kids until I'm older.
It would be Abraham because Abraham may not have nothing at the moment, but then it began to grow. And so he was rich and wealthy, very wealthy. So it would be Abraham. Yes, it would.
I guess it would be Sarah because of her beauty, strong, and you need somebody on your shoulder to stand the hand.
Let me tell you, Eve, we're going to reverse that thing. We're going to get it right. We're going to listen and obey the Lord. We're not going to be deceived. We're going cover our husband. So Eve, take two, I would do it again differently.
Boaz, because he's the boss.
I'll marry Eve. That's a little joke. I marry Eve, and I'll be watching her say, "Girl, you better not mess with that tree." But I'll marry Sarah, because of her beauty, and that was Abraham's wife. So
I know she helped him on his mission or whatever, so that's who I married.